Before discussing the topic of this video, let me say this loud and clear. To the single mothers watching this, you are strong, seen, and deeply loved by God. This video is not about shaming you. It's about exposing a false narrative that's being pushed onto younger generations without showing the full picture. If you're raising your children on your own, whether by choice or by circumstance, God sees your tears, your sacrifices, your late nights, and your prayers. He knows the weight you carry, and He is not done writing your story. You are not less than. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified from love, restoration, or purpose. In fact, God has a way of turning challenges into powerful testimonies. Keep praying over your children. Keep seeking His guidance. Your obedience is building a legacy, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Now let's talk about baby mama celebrities that are misleading the younger generation. Have you noticed the rise in glamorizing single motherhood, especially among celebrities? It's plastered all over social media. Designer strollers, lavish baby showers, matching outfits. But behind the filters and million-dollar bank accounts is a message that's quietly misleading an entire generation of young women. There was a time when being a single mother was seen as something to survive, something you had to endure with strength and grace. But now, it's being sold like a lifestyle brand. From chart-topping rappers to actresses and influencers, we're seeing more and more celebrities becoming mothers outside of marriage, and instead of being honest about the challenges, it's all glamour, gifts, and soft life aesthetics. Here's the issue. These women have resources that the average woman doesn't. They've got nannies, chefs, personal trainers, and millions of dollars in the bank. That's not reality for the everyday girl watching them online. Celebrities influence culture, period. And whether they want to admit it or not, they have a spiritual responsibility for the seeds they plant in young minds. When an 18-year-old girl sees her favorite influencer proudly announcing her second child with a man she's not married to, and then sees them break up 3 months later, she's subconsciously learning that fatherless homes are normal. What's being left out is the emotional and spiritual cost, the instability, the heartbreak, the generational wounds being passed down. And here's the twist. The enemy loves broken homes. Why? Because strong families create strong legacies. When the home is divided, when fathers are absent, when women are left to carry the spiritual and emotional load alone, it weakens communities. Satan isn't attacking family by accident. He's strategic. And celebrity culture is one of his most effective tools. This is not just culture, it's spiritual warfare. God created family with divine order. A man, a woman, and children raised in love and covenant. That doesn't mean perfection, but it does mean structure, protection, and covering. Ladies, don't let these influencers trick you into thinking a man who won't commit is enough. You deserve covenant, not chaos. You deserve a man who will cover you, not just co-parent with you. There's a significant societal double standard in how single mothers are perceived based on whether they were once married. Women who were married and later became single mothers are often treated with more sympathy, respect, and even admiration, seen as women who tried to do things the right way. Meanwhile, women who have children outside of marriage, regardless of the circumstances, are frequently looked down upon or labeled as baby mamas, a term often used dismissively and loaded with negative stereotypes. This judgment persists even when the woman is accomplished, independent, and capable of providing a stable, loving home for her children. A striking example of this double standard is Shakira. Despite her immense global success, intelligence, and influence, even she wasn't immune to the stigma. Shakira was in a long-term relationship with Spanish soccer star Gerard Piqué, with whom she shares 2 children. Shakira promoted being baby mama heavily and spoke against being married.
For all intents and purposes, you two are married. But you're not,
We're not
officially married.
To tell you the truth, marriage scares the out of me. I don't want him to see me as the wife. I'd rather him see me as his girlfriend. Exactly. His lover, his girlfriend, like a little forbidden fruit, you know? I want to keep him on his toes.
Yet after their breakup, Shakira repeatedly referred to Piqué as her ex-husband in interviews, even though they were never legally married.
What made you feel like, oh, now you have a full album ready to go?
Well, yeah, I've been putting out music here and there, but it was really hard for me to put together a body of work. I didn't have time. It was the husband factor. Now I'm husbandless. But yeah, the husband was dragging me down. Now I'm free.
Yeah!
Now I can actually work.
It's interesting how she refers to her ex-boyfriend as her husband when they were never married, not even engaged. Now he's suddenly her ex-husband. It makes me think she was ashamed of her status and wanted it to seem more official than it actually was.
I'm a single mother. I don't have a husband at home to to help out with anything. In a way, it's kind of good not to have a husband because I don't know why it was dragging me down. Now I feel like working. I feel like writing songs. I might not grow old with a partner, but I will grow old maybe surrounded by good friends. I think friendship lasts longer than love. I love love, but I think I even love friendship a little bit more.
That sounded a bit like coping, and once again she referred to him as her husband. But as I mentioned earlier, they were never legally married. It's clear she felt the pressure to present her situation in a way that aligned with traditional family norms, perhaps to protect her image, her children, or even her own sense of worth in the public eye. Her decision to blur the truth speaks volumes about the unspoken shame and judgment placed on women, no matter how successful, when they don't have the married mother title. Promoting baby mama culture isn't just misguided, it's dangerous, and Shakira's experience shows why. Why would a woman of her stature bend the facts? Because she understood the harsh social penalty attached to raising children outside marriage. If a superstar like Shakira feels compelled to reframe her story to avoid that judgment, imagine the pressure on women with fewer resources or a smaller platform. The lesson is clear. It's perilous to glamorize raising children without the foundation of marriage. Even the most empowered women can find themselves vulnerable to societal scorn and relational instability. Striving to be a wife first and a mother second isn't about outdated moralism. It's about building an intentional, resilient family structure, one that shields both mother and child from avoidable hardship. Until we change the narrative, honoring commitment, stability, and mutual responsibility, baby mama culture will keep demanding a price that even the world's biggest stars can't fully escape. In today's culture, there's an alarming normalization of women having children absent the foundation of stable, committed partnerships. We increasingly see maternity shoots and baby showers, but rarely the wedding vows, the covenant, or the security that once framed family building. Where is the structure? Historically, women didn't entertain men who couldn't provide. Stability was the standard. Provision, protection, and purpose were prerequisites for fatherhood. That wisdom built legacies. Yet now, struggle love is romanticized, while the fundamentals of security are dismissed. Too often, children are born into chaos, not covenant. Marriage is more than a romantic milestone. It's legal, financial, and spiritual protection. It offers rights, safeguards, and a shared vision for building legacy. A wife has standing. A girlfriend or baby mama often does not. That distinction matters. The backlash against women who say, "I want to be married before I have children," is telling. Instead of support, they're met with projection disguised as advice. Bitterness isn't wisdom. Women should be empowered to uphold standards, not shamed for them. Yes, marriages can fail. But like a seatbelt, while it doesn't guarantee safety, it increases the likelihood of survival. Intentional marriage remains a more secure foundation for raising children than casual, unstable arrangements. The glorification of dysfunction is not accidental. The baby mama, baby daddy culture is a tactic, not just a trend. It fosters division, weakens families, and erodes generational strength. Wanting marriage before motherhood is not elitist, it's responsible. It's not about superiority, it's about wisdom, discernment, and legacy. Children deserve stability, women deserve commitment, and families deserve a foundation.
Now, as a woman, you're probably asking, well, how the hell am I supposed to know when this man is trying to have a trap baby? All right, let me give you some tips, some warning signs to be aware of. Warning number 1, he talks about having your baby before he talks about marrying you. Let me explain something to you. If a man is serious about being in your life, being committed to you, pouring into your needs, then he will be willing to discuss marriage. He will be willing to consider long-term commitment. When that man can't even talk marriage, but he's talking about, can you have my baby? You better run. Run for the hills, all right? This man is trying to set you up. And it sounds funny, but I'm telling you, this is for real. This is happening as we speak right now. And many of you listening to this podcast have experienced this. First dates, second dates, this man is already talking about putting the baby in you. But not talking about taking you to the courthouse. Not, let's go ring shopping. Not, what kind of house you want to live in? No, none of that. Because all he wants is to make sure he locks you in and you can't go anywhere.
Be discerning about the motives behind a man wanting to get you pregnant. Pregnancy should be rooted in love, commitment, and mutual vision, not used as a tool for control. Yet, some men see impregnating a woman not as an act of unity, but as a strategy to maintain access, especially when she possesses spiritual favor, purpose, or potential. In these cases, fatherhood is not the goal. proximity is. Understand this, you may be targeted because you're thriving. Your glow, success, and stability can attract men seeking anchorage, not partnership. They may insert themselves into your life under the guise of connection, then use a child as leverage to remain tethered to you, even while offering no consistency, provision, or emotional maturity. Let's be honest about cultural contradictions. We've normalized pregnancy more than marriage. Commitment terrifies people, yet bringing a child into the world has become casual, stripped of the reverence it deserves. But children aren't placeholders for healing or loneliness. They're not emotional surrogates or symbols of worth. They are human beings who deserve to be born into stability, not dysfunction. And this must be said plainly. Some men intentionally use pregnancy as a form of entrapment. It is not love, it is coercion. It's a desperate attempt to remain attached to a woman they know they cannot keep by merit alone. It's not about building a life, it's about avoiding accountability. The bottom line? Don't let anyone tie themselves to your destiny without showing the character, care, and commitment to walk alongside you. Protect your lineage, your legacy, and your peace. Bringing life into this world is sacred. Let's start treating it that way.
What's my favorite horror film? Knocked Up. Period. Because, I don't know, right when you got your dream job that you worked years for, you get tied to a bum man for the rest of your life who's light years beneath you. The biggest lie that we've ever been sold is that women trap men with babies. It's the other way around.
My vagina! I sacrificed my job, my body, my youth!
He mistakenly forgot to put on a condom. The whole oops, I guess we're in love now narrative and Knocked Up is a masterclass in gaslighting. Movies like this help shape the dating scene right now. Every underachieving man who feels like having a beautiful and ambitious woman is his birthright as your ticket out of mediocrity. Because in real life, this is what ruins women's lives. He had no money to take care of this baby, let alone her.
It'll be the smartest thing I ever did listening to her, because now you're here.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? I think it is.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! The most insidious part is they framed this as a romance, as a comedy, and Allison got her happy ending in the end. When in reality, we know that this would have destroyed her life. It's like Knocked Up told on men. Because it is a romantic comedy for them, because they don't have to do anything. Find a woman light years ahead of them. Yeah, for the dusty manchild. This happens with like a lot of different types of men. You can be a loser with a lot of money. Musk. Because having a baby, bummy man that doesn't appreciate you, that thinks you're the problem because he constantly like complains about her throughout the whole film and she's positioned to be the issue, that ruins your life because she not only has to support him, she has to support the baby because he has no job, he has no ambition, he has no prospects for a job. And this is a reality for a lot of women. Like, this is an indoctrination camp that you've been raised with. You were convinced, oh my god, like, women trap men with babies. It's like, no. Conditioned to think that a man was the prize and having a baby is a win. This is how women get trapped by losers every single day. Something happens to you chemically when you have that man's baby. You're not only tied to him logistically, you're tied to him emotionally. Grimes and Musk. She is tied to that abusive loser for the rest of her life. And that's the reality for a lot of women. You start to believe that that love-bombing version of that loser is the real him. Then you start to defend him. It's like something chemically that happens, I swear. And that could be you. Don't do it. Wrap it up. And then wrap it up. And get the
We're witnessing a troubling pattern in modern culture. Ambitious, talented women, often on a clear path towards success, becoming entangled in what's been normalized as baby mama culture. Too frequently, these women find themselves emotionally and spiritually tied to men who neither support their growth nor offer stability, but instead diminish their potential. While it's easy to place sole blame on the man, true accountability requires nuance. Outside of coercion or assault, conception is a mutual decision. When a man hasn't committed, hasn't offered provision, protection, or partnership, yet a woman still consents to a lifelong tie through childbirth, we must examine the role of discernment and personal agency. No man can derail your destiny without access, and that access is granted, not taken. This is a call for women, particularly single women, to reclaim their standards. Intimacy is not casual when its consequences are permanent. Far too many women are forming generational bonds with men who are emotionally inconsistent, financially unstable, and spiritually disconnected. These men won't invest in a relationship, but are still being entrusted with a legacy. Yes, motherhood can be redemptive, but when entered into on a shaky foundation, it often amplifies emotional, mental, and financial strain, not because children aren't blessings, but because the environment wasn't prepared for them. The solution isn't bitterness, it's boundaries. Have standards rooted in self-worth. Protect your future with wisdom, not impulse. The narrative of struggle love must be retired. You deserve support, security, and sacred partnership, not instability disguised as affection.
Things men will never tell women, but are very obvious. Yes, a man is crazy enough to get you pregnant all for the sake of keeping you stagnant or trapping you. A lot of women consistently ask me this question all the time, and my answer is yes, they are crazy enough to do it. Some of them, though. A lot of these men ain't even allergic to latex. They just want the satisfaction of knowing that they touched your inside. They've been absolutely lying to y'all for years just to feel the real thing. Because misery likes company, and a man like this will create the silliest goals at the expense of you. Is he crazy enough to get me pregnant and not give a fuck about me? Yes. And the crazy sad part of fucking with a guy like this is that you were just the unlucky one. Because usually men like this are the ones that get turned down a lot and only get lucky on rare occasions. So what do? They tend to take advantage of that opportunity. They realize some of y'all were easy targets to shed their misery off onto. They usually scare or intimidate most women off because of the lack of self-control that they have. And whenever woman becomes an option that chooses to stay, they make their life a living hell. And on that occasion, they're playing process of elimination and know that which woman is the most patient. If they know that you're a woman who's caring with a big heart and gullible enough, they also know how to manipulate and don't weasel their way out of getting the stuff from you without actually giving a fuck about the kid that they helped create. A man like this will be more than willing to get you pregnant just to keep you stagnant just so he can have the whole kitty cat to himself. Like, I know you got dreams and aspiration, love, but to him, your dreams. Sit around that phone until I call you to get what I want from you. That's usually the thought process going through his mind when he's in the middle of doing it. I know, right? Sinister. Now you're probably wondering, that can't be the reason. You're probably looking for a whole other layer to this whole scheme. But that's what got you here in the first place. Stop looking for another layer with him. There is no other layer. Stop looking for one and stop giving the nigga the benefit of the doubt. Honestly, sticking around trying to see it through is only going to make you look silly. Like, stop manifesting seeing something that other men know for a fact isn't there. Because this man is very much the opposite of mysterious, so he shouldn't be looked at as so. And we see shit in like the first 5 minutes of you knowing him. That you're just a piece of meat to him, and he's lonely enough and narcissistic enough to trap you. And because he has time, remember, as people always have an immense amount of time on their hands. And time is the most valuable thing that a can take from money, dinner, bed romantics. Time is more valuable than all shit combined because all shit can get replaced. Also have to understand that a lot of these men are easily amused too. So with that being said, getting you knocked up and having you emotionally manipulated and devoted to him isn't a hard thing for him to do. Because they only try that shit that they know they can manipulate. Because they eliminate their whole roster in the beginning and just keep a couple after. It's easy to make anybody love blind and fall for you. They just sell you a dream, but of course you're not obligated to buy it. But surely it's easy to get you to buy if he knows that you're gullible enough to buy it. This is the epitome of misery loves company. Misery is cuddling with company right now.
I don't care what any baby mama say. Having to raise your kids by yourself is not a flex, and this is coming from a single mother. Listen to your sister. Don't let any baby mama deceive you into believing that being a single mother is more convenient than being a wife. You hear me? When I was pregnant with my daughter, I went through the whole pregnancy by myself. Ain't nobody going me to no appointments, no baby shower, no gender reveal. When my water broke, I got us to the hospital and from the hospital. And I can go on and on about my baby daddy. F my baby dad. F my baby dad. But I slept with him. So what kind of woman did that make me? A crazy motherfucker. Okay? You way too beautiful, way too smart, way too intelligent to be going through something like that. So live your soft girl life. Ain't nothing wrong with saying you too good to be a baby mama. You right. Because us strong black women not strong because we choose to be. We strong because we have to be.
Protect your womb, don't become a baby mama, but let's go even deeper. We also need to talk about the spiritual dangers of intimacy. Even if you avoid pregnancy, that doesn't protect you from what can be transferred spiritually. Intimacy is more than just a physical act. It's a spiritual exchange. When you sleep with someone, you're not just connecting bodies. You're potentially inheriting every curse, demon, and spiritual oppression they carry, and even what's attached to the people they've been with. This is serious spiritual warfare. You could be opening the door to soul ties, marine spirits, and generational curses without even realizing it. I've done in-depth videos on soul ties and marine spirits. I strongly encourage you to watch those to truly understand the spiritual consequences of ungodly intimacy. You never know what spirit someone is carrying, and once that door is open, it's not always easy to close. Protect your body, protect your spirit, protect your destiny. To the baby mama celebrities and influencers, this is your reminder that your influence matters. You don't have to be perfect, but you do need to be honest, because the next generation is watching. And here's my final message. If you're a young woman watching this, please understand. Your womb is sacred. Your future is sacred. You need peace, purpose, and God's plan for your life. My young queens, don't rush into a season you're not prepared for. Motherhood is a beautiful calling, but it's one that requires maturity, stability, and the right partner. You have time. Use these years to heal, grow, travel, chase your dreams, and build a relationship with God. The right love will find you in God's perfect timing, and when it does, you'll be ready to walk into it whole and unburdened.